Hey, my friends, I'm your friend Kevin, and this is your Divine Daily Blast. Let's go. We're in Angel Numerology number 2 day today, and I usually start off with these numbers because even though in numerology the numbers kind of go up to 10, which reduces to 1, which we got yesterday. And then you can have the master builders, which is 11, 11, 11, 22. And I always want to add on 33 and 44 to those numbers. Why is this significant? Well, it feels like every time the numbers come back around, which is usually within, let's say, every 10 days or so, unless the date changes, how could it be any different? Well, in our culture, our physical culture and adventure, numbers change, dates change. It's a vibration. And I use the daily number as a vibration to link it to what's actually going on and what's actually happening. So that's, for me, the significance. Because even though we may have had the angel number 2 maybe 10, 12 days ago, there's a different energy to the day, a different energy to the vibration. And that's in a way what helps me in readings, in my work. It's like linking the number to the message. A lot of blabbing to explain how and what my method of doing this is. A little bit of science, a lot of intuition, but today we've got angel numerology number 2. Basically, keep the faith, and more importantly, watch your negative thinking. Work with gentility. Be harmonious, supportive, considerate, and sensitive, particularly to yourself. This is about being tactful, cooperative, very much loving. It works with the 8 of Swords or the 8 of Air if you're using a modern deck. The Wise Counselor, Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Raguel, all of them to bring you that sense of diplomacy. The number 2 also signifies focusing on relationships, seeking balance, trusting your intuition, having faith to keep going. We are in the moon, my friends. I forgot to tell you where it was yesterday. Today it's in Aries. Now I'm using Yasmin Boland's daily moonology diary. It's wonderful. It's a tear off. It's a very simple way to land where the moon is. She also talks about where the sun is, but these are 2 separate planets, and once again they have 2 separate energies. Now, as the sun and the Mercury meet under this Aries moon, think about how well you've been expressing yourself. And if something in your life needs a fresh start, declare that today. Make it, today I'm going to start this. Today I'm going to do that. Starting, getting it going, having the faith that it will work out. My isms, I am successful. Love is my compass needle, takes you out of the negative thinking. And then just a little prayer, dear God, universe, great creator, source energy, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for entering where you already abide. This comes from Marianne Williamson's Return to Love. We always have the light, the love, the energy, the vibration of the divine with us. Many, many, many times, particularly in times of trouble. Reminds me of a Beatles song, Mother Mary comes to me, whisper words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be. The Beatles are quite brilliant men, and if you can listen to some of the lyrics of some of their songs, particularly their hits, they came out in the early 60s to the late 60s. They didn't really have but maybe a decade of success under John Lennon, Paul McCartney and others, but their lyrics and their songs, and I think that it came along and they rose to fame at a time when music, the vibration of music, lyrics, and all of that was very prevalent. And I think it's prevalent now. Help, I need somebody, help. Not just anybody, help. I mean, you just think about all of them. And if you just go back through and listen to some of them, get into the vibration of the beat of the music, of the lyrics, and you kind of understand why at the time they were uber successful. Those times are coming back around now. A message from Archangel Gabriel. As the Archangel of Communication, I can give you the perfect words for any conversation that you need to have. Here's your affirmation. I express my truth and grace with love, and I communicate with confidence and clarity. Be clear. Clear on what you want. Be clear on what you're releasing. Be clear on where your boundaries are. Clear, clear, clear. People may not understand directness. I've been called direct myself. But they certainly get frustrated by wishy-washy. Who wants to be around somebody who cannot make their mind up? Be decisive. And know, any decision you make is got to be the right decision because you made a decision. Saint Germain has been with us all week. I had a little bit of a longer explanation of his energy yesterday. Basically, a master alchemist. I link him to Merlin, wizards, turning something that didn't appear to be the way it should be into something that is. Being able to stand in your truth, make things happen, have the belief that you can do what you need to do. All you have to have is focus. And we have the Water Guardians with us this week. And the Water Guardians are saying, let your emotions flow. Now, today, we're talking about diplomacy and having the faith and watching your negative thinking. So today, your emotions may want to be on compassion. Compassion for yourself. The question, where do I need love? Where am I leaking it? Where is it disappearing? Louise Hay says, I am patient, tolerant, and diplomatic. Others appreciate me for these qualities. So your question really is, are you these things? Now, patience, well, I have a little bit of a struggle with that sometimes. Tolerant, that's another one. I don't necessarily tolerate bad manners. I don't necessarily tolerate deceitfulness. However, when I looked at it, and I look at those things and think, okay, I don't tolerate it, why? And likely it's because it's holding a mirror up to my heart and saying, I need to forgive myself for being intolerant, for being impatient, for being non-diplomatic, bullshy, pushy, shovey, too direct. Then I get it. Our tarot card for today is the Three of Coins or the Three of Pentacles. Now remember, I pull these on a Sunday. You go back through my weekly reading for the week ahead along with the Daily Blast. And thank you for those who commented on liking that new format. So on this card, we can see some leaf cutter ants going about their business. Now they're the type of ants comprising of many different species and have remarkably complicated cooperative social structures. Not only do they cooperate with each other, but they also have an interdependent relationship with a type of fungus that they use in gardens, in their nests. And these ants keep the fungus fed with leaves. And in return, the fungus is used by the ants to feed their larvae. So you see how I'm going with this. It's a full cooperative day of business and commerce. The order of the day may suggest a cooperative approach to the things that you do, to the business endeavors. And with cooperation, you'll achieve results that probably would not have been possible had you tried to go it alone. So the complex social structure, particularly of these ants and others, is a reminder to us that things may be more connected than they appear to be on the surface. We need each other. People who need people. People who need people to create a network. a physical network. Now, this particular card in tarot is linked to the planet of Mars in the sign of Capricorn. It's all about self-discipline and also helps to keep the energy of transformation at bay, probably for the common good of all. Fairies, fairies everywhere, what can you tell us today? Bring us a card that will pull it all together. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us in all ways and all things, in all directions of time and space. Let there be no limit to the messages that you bring us. I kind of like this card. Sovereignty, which is really quite interesting. The card of sovereignty really talks about standing in your power, being direct, being understanding, but also being part of a bigger picture, but not necessarily joining in with somebody else if you don't feel it. We're moving through that energy of sovereignty in our own social structures. We're beginning to discern what works for us, what works for what we want to do, as opposed to just going along with everybody else. And we manifest sovereignty by knowing that we can make decisions about our lives without feeling guilty. And what's best for someone else might not work for you. So always use discernment when making choices that are affecting your life and perhaps the lives of those who are dependent upon you. This is also linked to intuition, following your intuition. Embrace that independence and be empowered by it. Urges. This dignified queen, fairy queen, is reminding us that we were all born sovereign. And as a result of our life adventures and circumstances and situations and experiences, we don't always believe this to be the case. So the fairy queen of sovereignty said it matters not where you were born and who you were born of, because sovereignty is within you. It's not outside of you. You can make and break your own rules just as long as it's within the laws of your country and your place and your friends, and just, being respectful. This isn't an excuse to be foolish or irresponsible. It's almost an invitation to stand in your power. And sometimes we give away that power to other people. People that have letters after their name. Maybe because we're trying to impress them or admire them. So maybe we put them on a pedestal and think beyond their criticism of us. You're sovereign. You're sovereign and autonomous, and it's time to place the crown on your head. It's high time we became the rulers of our own lives. We should be encouraged to make choices and decisions that are right for us. And knowing that no one can tell us what to do, what's best for us, perhaps they can make suggestions. But here's what I've got to say about that. Many of us have experienced where we've shared something that's quite lovely. I had a lady yesterday, client, who talked about how she's found a new way to operate a vehicle. I don't know, a program where she basically needs a vehicle for a day and pays the rent and all-inclusive insurance and that kind of stuff. But her point to me was she was aghast at how when she rolled up in this vehicle that had out-of-state plates on it, there were people that had an opinion about who she did this business with and what she did and how she did it. And they all launched into their thoughts and opinions of what she'd done in a critical way. Well, I say all. She was mentioning one person. Her comment wasn't to criticize said person. It was a witness to how people insert their thoughts, opinions, and suggestions when it's not necessarily invited. That, my friends, is the sticky, tricky wicket. Wicket being cricket. We have to sort of learn in these turbulent transformation times to be discerning with A, what we're sharing. People pay attention to what you do, not what you say. And sometimes they pay attention to what we do in not so supportive fashion. We have to be careful if someone criticizes the actions that we're taking because it doesn't work for them, not to be defensive, not to be feeling trite. That's one of the ones that gets me caught, because I think like many of you, uber sensitive. Someone can say something, do something, and I can take inward offense to it. And of course, I don't have a filter, so you see it. What I've learned to do is be curious, not judgmental. I've learned to be somewhat diplomatic. Can I approach this person, place, situation, story with diplomacy? Can I say something to the effect of, that's interesting? I'm curious how you came to that conclusion. And I'm also curious what else you believe I should have, would have done. Now that's going into the weeds, because you just open the door to let someone launch their opinion of your life. Kind of what sovereignty means. All right, my friends, that's it from me for today. I love you. Thanks for liking, subscribing, supporting the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.